Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following. Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following presentation of the Seattle Mariners.
A gorgeous Saturday early evening here in Anaheim. The Mariners' first road trip continues after a pretty exciting win last night in Game 1. Tonight it's Game 2 of this 3-game series, the Mariners and the Angels from the Big A. And what a night it was to begin the first road series of the season a night ago. Our Northwest Chevy Silverado driving the game. Angie, these two clubs scoreless in the 10th until Cole Young drove in the game's first run.
I hope nobody left early from this one. This was fantastic to see, but it's really more of the same with Cole Young. He has been tremendous at the plate, particularly against left-handed pitching, and we've been waiting to see this with Josh Naylor. 2 huge RBIs for him, and it changes everything for the Angels. You're not just playing to try to get that ghost runner in from second. All of a sudden, you got to find a way to score 3.
Well, the Mariners winning last night in Game 1 as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Angie Mentink. The late offense was good to see for the Mariners. A rare game scoreless through 9. Mariners pitching was flat out dominant last night.
And this was just the perfect tone setter for the series because you got Brian Wu just absolutely shoving. It's their opening day. They're trying to make a good first impression to their fans, and then you just give them a kick in the shin in extra innings with the way they were able to win that game. And again, it just set the tone for the rest of the series. Perfect.
We'll talk about setting the tone. The Mariners rotation has certainly done that through the first week of the season. Mariners starters have been electric. This is now the second time through the rotation. Brian Wu last night stellar, just one hit over 7 scoreless. Emerson Hancock making his second start of the season tonight. Castillo rounds out the rotation tomorrow in the series finale. And for Emerson Hancock, Angie, in his last start, we saw a lot of swing and miss, a lot of elevated fastball, a career-high 9 strikeouts.
Well, you look at that graphic right there on your screen. 0 hits for Emerson Hancock. I mean, he was nearly flawless the first time out. I'm not sure what I expected the first time through the rotation, but I didn't think that Emerson would have the most impressive stat line of the bunch. He was fun to watch, and I think this is something that he could take and just continue to build on. He's got a lower arm angle this year, and it's really had a huge effect, particularly on that 4-seam fastball.
Yeah, there'll be a lot to talk about regarding Emerson over the course of the broadcast tonight. But you look at the differences against the Guardians, a lot of lefties. Against the Angels tonight, a lot of righties for him to face.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I think, you know, his secondary pitches, particularly breaking away from all these righties, are going to be critical. But my suggestion is soak in the warmth. The velocity was down on his 4-seam fastball in that first start. It was a cold night, you know, so you never know. But you can't argue that for whatever reason, the lower velocity was effective, perhaps because there was a smaller gap between his fastball and his changeup, which has been a really effective pitch. It really just kept guys off balance, off timing all night against Cleveland.
Yeah, enormous leap in usage of that 4-seam fastball. We'll see what he does here tonight against the Halos. The other half of our Western Washington Toyota Dealers pitching matchup. All right, Jack Kohanowitz last year, here are the numbers. It was a really rough season. There's not a lot of swing and miss despite a big fastball from Kohanowitz.
Well, he wasn't sharp first time out here in 2026. He didn't get too deep in that one. 4 innings, and he had to throw 94 pitches in order to get through 4 innings. I think 5 walks certainly hurt him, and the ERA over 11 will sting for a little bit. He has not beat the Mariners in 3 starts. Just keep that going, Seattle.
Mariners facing the tall right-hander Jack Kohanowitz here tonight in Game 2. Well, some big arms pitched out of the bullpen last night on that extra inning win. What is the state of that bullpen entering Game 2? For that, we go down to the field. What's going on, Brad?
Well, Aaron, you mentioned it. The high leverage arms got the 8th, 9th, and 10th last night, and they were absolutely perfect backing up Wu. No hits, no runners allowed except for the automatic runner in the 10th inning. They were fantastic. We're talking about Brash, Munoz, Spire. 5 strikeouts as well combined. No hits. They were just dominant. And all 3 guys should be available today. There's no really restrictions on any of them going back-to-back. Of course, the team wants to be cautious this early in the season, but if they played catch during batting practice and felt good, they'll be ready to go. In fact, all of them said they were good, and Munoz telling me if there's a safe situation, he wants in the game tonight. Spire picking up his second career save last night, so good to see the dominant bullpen take shape and be devastating in game one. Mariner fans out here in Anaheim getting some autographs, enjoying themselves, getting ready for game 2 of the set, looking for their Mariners, yes, to win a series here in Anaheim. First pitch coming up. We got Aaron and Ange on the call.
Baseball. Try this up.
Mariners TV is presented by Emerald Queen Casino. It's time to celebrate. Cool in the gang. Come to Emerald Queen Casino May 23rd. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By Washington Traffic Safety Commission. Before you drive, put your phone out of reach and stay focused on the road. And by PIMCO, the insurance you get. Learn more at PIMCO.com. Mariners a chance for a series win with a victory tonight, and they'll do it with a little bit of a different looking lineup. That is Luke Raley, you see, getting set to lead things off. The Mariners and the Angels in game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. All right, so here's what it looks like for Dan Wilson. Brendan Donovan, as you might have remembered from last night, hit the bag awkwardly at first base, dealing with some soreness in his groin. Mariners are being extra careful with him. So as a result of that, Luke Raley getting a rare chance to lead off. Meanwhile, Josh Naylor, 2-run single last night. A couple of base hits overall for Naylor in last night's game. A good sign for a very important bat in the Mariners order. With Donovan not starting tonight and beginning on the bench, Leo Rivas, who came off the bench last night to replace Donovan at third base, gets the start on the hot corner, batting ninth. It is Jack Kohanowitz, drafted and developed by the Angels. A rough one last year and a rough start to begin this season up on the mound.
Yeah, he has not had a whole lot of success against the Mariners either, but when you look at last season and what he was able to do, it's just not good. 3-11, you saw the numbers in 2025. It was the highest ERA in baseball over that span among pitchers who had at least 100. You see what the Mariners are up against: sinker, changeup, slider, and the four-seamer. I talked with Kevin Seitzer, the Mariners hitting coach, and they said the key is going to be to get the ball up in the zone.
Here is Luke Raley. He looks at 97 miles an hour to begin tonight's game for strike one. Raley, his 4th career start batting leadoff. His previous 3 all came in the summer of 24. Nothing in 2 out of the gates to Raley. Mariners have stacked quite a few lefties in the lineup as You would imagine they would against a righty. The Mariners very left-hand heavy lineup at times. That can work out all right. And Raley down on 3 pitches. A little wrinkle there from Kohanowitz to get his first strikeout.
This is something to keep an eye out throughout the game, is that Kohanowitz has changed his arm angle, where so many guys around the league are lowering their arm angle. I mean, this guy's 6'7", 230. He's coming way more over the top, and they're hoping that that gives him a lot more depth. One, the ride on the fastball, and depth on his changeup.
That was that changeup that got Raley. Figure we'll probably see the fair dose of that pitch tonight with all these lefties. Here's Cal. Fouls back a heater for strike 1. Mariners winning a close one last night. Both teams deadlocked through 9 innings. A 0-0 game. And the Mariners 3 runs in the 10th. Wow. There goes number 1. Way back in. Wow, that was caught at the wall. Adele at the yellow line takes a missile away from Cal Raleigh. What an absolute rocket that Adele robs at the very top of the wall.
This ball was absolutely smoked. 105 miles per hour off the bat, just nearly a line drive. I mean, I hope you didn't hurt your ears with how loud that was. I mean, off the bat. The crack it made here.
All the credit to Adele. That was a spectacular catch, something that the man in the batter's box right now can even appreciate. Julio, he's taken a few back in his days. It's an odd right field here at Angel Stadium. You have the LED scoreboard above the yellow line, and the ball can actually hit off the signage above that yellow fence and bounce back on the wall. So it's kind of an odd setup here compared to most ballparks. But Adele able to get over that yellow stripe and take it back. Obviously the Mariners would have loved if that did go over the wall, but good signs from Cal Raleigh, who we haven't seen him barrel too many pitches.
No, again, that was 105 off the bat, and this is really similar to the start that he had last season. So I know that Cal Raleigh isn't panicking. If he's not, nobody else should be.
2 outs and nobody on. Julio fouls that. He's feeling that a little bit. Now, Julio has been such a sensational hitter in this ballpark. Hits in 16 of his last 18 games here at Angel Stadium. In fact, 32 hits in his last 18 games here. There's been a lot of multi-hit efforts for the Mariners center fielder. And last year, another season of great success at the plate here in Southern California. He takes 99 from Kohanowitz. That misses. 2-2. Chopping quickly, and he finds a base hit in right field. That gets past Shonowell. And Julio's hot hitting here at the Big A continues with 2 outs here in the first inning. The Mariners' first base runner tonight. Julio happy to get a knock. 3 for 30 on the season coming into tonight.
It's just a 4-seam fastball that he doesn't try to do too much with. This is on the outer half. He just takes that ball where it wants to go. He tries to pull that. He rolls over it, you know, to the shortstop, Zach Neto, but instead goes with it and finds himself on first.
Naylor is able to dump this into shallow left. Julio making an aggressive turn. Full speed ahead into third, and he gets there easily as it turns out. And all of a sudden with 2 outs, the Mariners threatening with runners on the corners. Julio's speed showing up big right there.
I'm sensing a theme here. So far, both hits by Josh Naylor and also Julio Rodriguez staying inside the ball, driving it the other way.
There's Randy with runners at first and third with 2 outs. Randy jackknife Does the velocity of Kohanowitz have anything to do with that?
Well, I mean, that was a changeup, so it was only
Okay.
91 miles an hour off the bat of Josh Naylor, but he recognized it, and you got to think opposite way. Sometimes you'll end up pulling that off-speed pitch, but you got to think other way.
Now Randy's off to a nice start this year. Randy chops it, that fouls it at the plate. He's been getting on both with hits and walks. He's behind now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mariners have Julio at third, Naylor at first. Trying to cash in here in the first inning. Pretty even splits last year for Randy. Actually hit righties a touch better. Strike 3 call. Randy caught looking. The Mariners strand him on the corners. Joe Adell robs Cal Raleigh of his first home run to the bottom of the first. Emerson Hancock getting set.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
It's the exact same lineup tonight for the Angels. That means some power and speed at the top in Zach Neto. Last year, another 2020 season. Yeah, if you go down to the bottom of the order, it was Oswald Peraza, the number 9 hitting second baseman. He had the only base hit in last night's game for the Halos. They were held to just 1 single hit against Brian Wu and the Mariners pitching staff out of the bullpen. We'll see how Emerson Hancock can follow that performance as the right-hander makes his second start of the year. Neto a swing and a miss on a first pitch heater, and a good sign right away. 96 miles an hour from Hancock.
A really good sign indeed. It talked about his fastball velocity being down in that first start, averaging right around 93 and change. So big jump already. The heat helps.
It was a frigid Sunday evening when Hancock last pitched back at T-Mobile Park. First pitch temperature here tonight, 81 degrees, a far cry.
We're suffering.
Neto takes low. 2-2. Now, Mariners pitching last night in game 1 allowed just that single hit. They retired 29 of 32 Angels hitters, including the final 21 batters faced. Neto, deep fly. Arozarena is watching, and it's gone. Something they have seen a lot of in recent years here in Anaheim. A leadoff home run from Zach Neto.
This is a fastball, and this is just really kind of middle, or the new middle, as I'm calling it. 40 1/4, 8 1/2, based on the dimensions of all the hitters now with the ABS system. Great location with the sweeper. His first pitch, not so much with the fastball.
Here is Trout. So the Angels strike first tonight. Their first home run of this series. A team that hits a lot of them. 0-2 on Trout, who has reached base in every game this year. He leads the majors in walks. Nettle's third home run already this season. Over to Rivas, getting the start at third. He pumps a strike to Naylor. Strong throw. And Trout 0 for his last 15 now. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. A better look at what Emerson Hancock throws.
The four-seam fastball, he's going to see that over half of the time. He's got a sweeper, a sinker, a cutter, and a really effective change when he throws it.
Yeah, so this was a much different looking pitch mix for Emerson his last time out. We saw the sweeper from Hancock at the end of last season become a real thing. Julio can't get to it. It's past him to the base of the wall. Shotwell extra bases. And hopefully Julio's okay. He looks like he might be grimacing a little bit. Not sure if he rolled up on his wrists at all. He's slow to get up. It's a double for Shotwell.
A really good angle here by Julio. But you're right. Once that glove hits the grass, and especially if it doesn't have a baseball in it and you're not trying to hold it up off the grass, it could do some funky things. Looks like he's going to shake it off and be just fine.
This is pulled foul off the bat of Soler. Now some hard contact from two of the first three hitters of the Angels.
Just out of the reach of Julio.
On the ground, it splits the left side. Shotwell is into third and gets the stop sign there. Rosarena gets to it and fairly shallow left. So Soler a single, and the Angels have him on the corners. Well, we talked about a little bit different look for Hancock his last time out. A ton of fastballs, Angie. A lot of left-handed hitters for the Guardians. And one thing we saw as a trend, most of the fastballs were middle and up in terms of the height of those fastballs.
Yeah, and it was really effective for him to be able to hit all different quadrants. And I think that that's when Emerson Hancock is at his best. You know, when he's able to hit the lower quadrants, you know, with his off-speed pitches and still get up to the top rail with his four-seam fastball. And again, with that lower arm angle he started towards the end of last year, it's got a lot more ride on that pitch. Again, well, it can't really defy gravity. It just doesn't sink as much as you would think it would.
Well, swinging him is there on Moncada. 4 balls in play, 3 at 100 or more for the Angels early on. Angels have him on the corners, 1 out. Blows it past him. 97-mile-an-hour bolt from Hancock there, and a well-timed first strikeout tonight.
And this is set up by the sweeper before. That sweeper is so slow in the upper 70s, and then he comes back, and we've talked about his increased velocity tonight, right around 97 on the fastball. Nearly 20 miles per hour difference between those two pitches.
Well, this gets away from Cal Raleigh. Shotwell's on his way home, plate the plate, tag applied, and they got him. Hancock delivers the tag, and Shotwell is out. Cal Raleigh pouncing on that behind home plate, and that is out number 3. Let's see if the Angels want to take a look. And no challenge from new manager Kurt Suzuki. Angels threat comes to a dramatic close.
And that's How I Met Your Mom.
Get it now.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Top of the second inning, our Steel scoreboard. Angels lead it 1-0 on a leadoff home run from Zach Neto. Dom Canzone, one of 7 batters who will bat left-handed tonight against Kohanowitz, leads things off. Now, the season did not get off to a strong note for Kohanowitz. Just 4 innings in his debut at Houston. He threw 94 pitches because he threw 45 pitches in the second inning. Overall, 5 walks, just 3 strikeouts. It is funny for somebody who throws as many fastballs as he does. The issues that he has had historically with walks and not striking people out. When you see how big his fastball is, he's touched 99 already tonight.
Yeah, you would think, you know, with his makeup. I mean, he's 6'7", he's 230 pounds. His fastball, which is a big reason why they changed his arm slot, and he's way more over the top now, is because it was just kind of one of those dead zone fastballs. It just didn't do anything interesting.
Now, Canzone wants to challenge this. It was very close at the bottom of the zone.
The batters challenge the pitch.
And again, you think about 6'7", the long levers he has.
Call confirmed. Seattle has 1 remaining.
That pitch right there, it seems like, you know, it starts out so high and it got so low to the bottom of the zone. It feels like there's no way that could be a strike.
Well, last year, if you look at all the pitchers who threw at least 100 innings, there were 119 of them. Kohanowitz ranked nearly dead last in ERA, strikeout rate, walk rate, hard hit rate. So he didn't strike him out. He put him on, and it was loud when he pitched. Now, that being said, you mentioned the arm angle, which seems like a very notable change. He has struck out 3 of the first 6 hitters that he's faced tonight. So maybe this is the new secret weapon for Kohanowitz. J.P. Crawford in his second game after coming off the injured list prior to last night's game.
And something I thought that was interesting too is lefties did not have a whole lot of success against his fastball last season. Against the 4-seamer, lefties hit only 208 against it. Seems like he didn't need to change anything there against the lefties, but they crushed his slider, hit over 400 against that pitch, and they seem to pick up his 2-seamer pretty well. Nearly hit 350 against that pitch.
Two balls and 2 strikes to JP. 2 2 0-3 called. A borderline strike. And you know, this is kind of the psychology of the challenge system, right? Mariners just lost a challenge. Now maybe JP knew this was a strike. The EQC tracer has it as a strike, but you wonder if that was even barely off the plate, if you'd be willing to challenge that here, if you'd even want to, and risk being out of challenges in the second inning.
Absolutely. When you go back to back like that, Dom Canzone just lost you one. That goes through your brain, even though you got to make that decision so quickly. It's the first thought that passes through your mind. We just lost a challenge. I can't lose the second.
Well, this happened to the Mariners last night. They were out of challenges very early. Here's Cole Young, who broke it open in the 10th last night with his RBI triple. After a slow start in terms of using ABS challenges, the Mariners have become one of the more aggressive teams. Only the Twins and Yankees have challenged more. The Twins, an outlier high number of challenges. Well, don't tell Jack Kohanowitz he doesn't strike him out. He strikes out the side. He's punched out 5 of the first 8 that he's faced. Ichiro replica statue night is coming up Friday, April 10th. Don't miss your chance to score a replica of the iconic statue. Coming soon at T-Mobile Park, available to the first 40,000 fans. Plus 20 lucky fans will get a replica signed by Ichiro himself. Mariners.com/tickets. Joe Adell leads things off. Angels have been very aggressive against Hancock. Rayleigh in right field makes the catch. Down to the Ford Sports desk. Brad?
Well, Aaron, good news on the injury front for the Mariners. Brendan Donovan out of the lineup tonight. They hurt his groin area last night trying to beat out an infield single in the 7th inning. He says today that he had an MRI, some imaging, and it came back clean. Now, he had sports hernia surgery at the end of last season, so they're being very careful with that. He was going through drills with trainers and during BP, Aaron, and he says he felt good. So hopefully this is just a one-day thing, but very, precaution, very, very careful, and maybe we'll see him in the lineup tomorrow.
Well, Dan Wilson certainly hopes that's the case. He is already such a big part of what the Mariners are doing, especially offensively. We've seen him lead off against right-handers this year and learning a new full-time position at third base.
And he's not the only one. Mitch Garver had his glove over there, and when I say his glove, I mean Perry Hill's glove, over there at third base working on drills today.
Naylor takes this one by the shins and patrols over to the bag. 2 outs. All right, so we got a backup plan over there at third base.
Well, you think about it, in last night's game, Leo Rivas, who came in for Brendan Donovan, got what he thought hit on the hand, and Kevin Seitzer looks over and he says, "You're next." To play third. I mean, you think about that. If he wasn't choked up, I'm talking Leo Rivas on the bat, it probably would have obliterated his hand, and he probably would have had to come out of the game, and Mitch Garver would be your third baseman last night. You know, sure, they can make a move the next day, but within the game, somebody has to finish it out. But apparently Garver has been taking a lot of ground balls in spring training in the backfields with Perry Hill at first base.
Well, you think about if you can find a way to give Naylor a day off here and there, right? Especially you get a tough lefty. Can Garver put on that first baseman's glove every once in a while?
Also Perry Hill's first baseman glove, by the way.
Perry coming up clutch, 2-1 on a good fastball.
And apparently Mitch Garver doesn't own anything but a catcher's mitt. So, but you know, we were talking about playing third, and it's across the diamond. It's just basically the exact same thing as home to second for a catcher. So the throw is really similar, and his throws look spot on. He was great.
Well, it can't be that similar, can it? It's a drastically different throw, is it not?
Well, you're coming from different angles. I just meant he has the strength.
Okay. Yes. I'm sure Mitch Garver is desperately hoping he never has to play third base. I don't know. Maybe he'll think it'd be fun. 2-2.
Told him just put a chest protector down on, you know, go out there, smother everything.
Feel right at home. O'Hoppe, the number 8 hitting catcher for the Angels. 2 outs and nobody on. Strike 3 called. O'Hoppe gets rung up on a heater by Hancock. Side retired in order. Jack Kohanowitz, 5 strikeouts out of the first 6 outs recorded, and he's mixed it up a little bit too.
He has, although they're giving him credit with 2 4-seam fastball changeups, but that last one was 92 miles per hour to Cole Young. So I think that was a changeup, because we've seen him live at 97, 98 on that 4-seam fastball. So, but yes, he's been absolutely impressive, especially when you consider he had 5 walks last start, and tonight he's got 5 strikeouts through 2.
Yeah, 5 strikeouts is not a feat that he normally got to last year. Leo Rivas takes low. 9-1-2 for the Mariners here in the third. This is pulled foul. Hoppy really wanted that as a strike. Well, there's that changeup from Kohanowitz. Not a pitch he threw a ton last season, but we've seen him broken out a fair amount already today with all these left-handed hitters the Mariners are featuring. Full count to Rivas. Top of the order next, and tonight that means Luke Raley. He draws a walk. First walk from the Angels starter. That snaps 4 straight strikeouts for Kohanowitz dating back to the first inning. Leadoff man reaching in front of Raley. Raley saw that changeup from Kohanowitz to begin the ball game tonight. That and a couple of big fastballs. Like that one at 97 low. With a win tonight, the Mariners would secure their first series win of the young season. They split the 4-gamer to begin the year at home against the Guardians, and then dropped 2 out of 3 against the Yankees to wrap up the homestand. Count evens on Raley.
I don't know where audio put the microphones, but it sounds like they're in the bats and in O'Hoppy's glove. I mean, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Jeff, one of the finest A1s in any truck around all of baseball. And there's that power changeup again. Raley struck out on that pitch in the first. Cracked center field. Trout not having to move a whole lot. He makes the catch. Now Raley squared it up but hit it to the wrong spot, and there is out number 1. And we saw the flags a moment ago. Much more normal conditions tonight here inside Angel Stadium. Last night there was a real jet stream whipping across here and took a home run away from Mike Trout. Much more calm conditions tonight. Here is Cal. Joe Adell's on his toes out there in right field. He robbed Cal of a home run his first time up.
Yeah, John Mabry, the hitting coach for the Angels, former Mariner, was telling me the wind saved you guys last night. Otherwise, 1-0, we win.
Yeah, blew that fly ball from Trout 25 feet in. Now Adell has a easier time with this one. Doesn't have to leave his feet. Cal flies out to right for the second straight at bat. A little more routine this time around. Two outs following the walk to Rivas, and here is Julio. Single back in the first. He gets jammed, and it works out for him. That was practically off his knuckles. 2 for 2. Julio. Rivas scampers into third. Mariners, for the second time in 3 innings, have him on the corners.
Second verse, same as the first. Julio inside outs the ball, and this one was a lot harder to do. I mean, that was on the black inside, but he allows it to travel, lets it get deep in the strike zone, and takes it the other way. Both of his hits tonight. Right there into right, in between first and second.
He's now 7 for 9 lifetime against Kohanowitz. RBI chance here for Josh Naylor, who singled into left field back in the first inning. Rivas at third, Julio at first. Good count for Naylor, 2-0. Back-to-back fastballs his way. Three balls and no strikes. Randy would be next. 2 outs and 2 on here. Ball 4. And O'Hoppe wants to challenge this. It was borderline at the top of the zone. ABS brought to you by T-Mobile, and that was a strike. So instead of a walk, it's 3-1. And the at-bat for Naylor will continue. And who knows, maybe that'll turn out to be a good thing for the Mariners. Julio to second as this is fouled back in a full count. Naylor trying to get geared up for that heater. Naylor's seen one changeup from Kohanowitz. Everything else spins a fastball as he calls for time.
I'd love to have a heart monitor on Josh Naylor during an at-bat. I don't think you'd go up a beat.
Two outs and 2 on for Naylor. He gets jammed and sends this high and foul. And there was the changeup. Tie and run, Rivas at third. Go ahead, Julio at first. It's in the dirt, and eventually Naylor does walk. He reaches for the second time already. And here comes Maddox. Mariners have him loaded up for Arozarena, who's been seeing the ball well. And we apologize for some technical problems with our strike zone overlay on your screen. We're working on that as Maddox wants to go out there and reset Jack Kohanowitz, who's at almost 50 pitches now. He's had a couple of somewhat lengthy innings here, the first and the third. That is now a walk, 2 walks and a single for the Mariners. Bases loaded, 2 away, top of the third for Randy. Lands it on the corner for a strike. The 0-2. chopping off the hands. Moncada cuts it off the short way to second. The Mariners leave him loaded. Kohanowitz wiggles off the hook in a scoreless third.
Let's check out the insurance you get, brought to you by Pemco Insurance. How about Kate Anderson last night, starting for Arkansas against Midland AA, and the lefty, number 3 pick overall this year, on top of his game. Multiple strikeouts there, off speed, and then, oh, the big slow hook there. Keeping Midland off balance. Kate Anderson, lefty, looking good on the mound last night. That is a good sign. A little upset, guys, that as fans were as well, that he didn't start in Everett, getting a start or two there so the local folks could see him. But hey, Arkansas is beautiful this time of year. You guys want to go see some good baseball, go see the Travelers.
Travis is a good place to catch a game, and congrats to Kate Anderson on a strong start. 4 innings, 6 strikeouts, 4 scoreless to boot.
There's some ugly swings in there too.
This is Peraza leading things off. Now Anderson, one of the top pitching prospects already in the game, and he's not a guy who lights up the radar gun, but the Mariners believe so much in his pitch mix, how advanced he is. Caught on and missed at 95. They do not think that it will take him a whole lot of time down there in the minors. He won a national championship with LSU. He was the College World Series MVP. And never did get to pitch professionally after being drafted last year because of all the college innings. So he was itching to get on the mound. He didn't pitch professionally until the Cactus League this season.
You can see with that start why they wanted him in Arkansas. I mean, they want to hurry him along, and they also, want to make sure he gets his innings in because of the weather.
Rivas near the bag, charges this chopper, and Peraza is out. Well, join the next generation of Mariner fans by signing up for free Mariners Kids Club presented by BECU. Each membership includes a special Kids Club hat, membership badge, access to exclusive member-only events, special discounts, and much more. You can get out your phone. You can scan this QR code you see on the screen to register. One time through the order, here is Neto, who has driven in the lone run, a leadoff home run back in the first. Last year, only Byron Buxton had more leadoff home runs in the American League than Neto.
Yeah, 9 leadoff home runs last year, and against guys like Tarek Skubal, Yamamoto, Jacob deGrom, Dylan Cease. So I don't think that Emerson Hancock should beat himself up too much about it.
Hit hard, but right to the chest of Leo Rivas. 2 outs. He's had a busy inning. That brings up Trout. Strike one to the Angels center fielder, who years ago signed a 12-year, $430 million extension. He will be an Angel through his 39th birthday. That is in the year 2030. When he signed that deal, it was the largest contract in American sports history. It was $100 million more than Bryce Harper, who signed for 13 years and $330 million. And then Juan Soto showed up years later and said, let me blow all you guys out of the water. Yeah. Well, he has to hang back on a sweeper, and he pops it up over to first base. Naylor is there. And the side retired in order for the second straight inning by Emerson Hancock. Angels leading 1-0. Game 2 of the series here tonight. First road trip of the season for the M's. Dom Canzone leads it off, facing Jack Kohanowitz. Mariners making Kohanowitz work a little bit. A couple of walks in that 22-pitch third inning.
Let's see if they can jog his memory and remind him who he is.
This is into left field, and it is caught by Lowe. A tumbling barrel roll catch. Some great defense in the corner outfield positions tonight by the Angels between Lowe and Adell, robbing a home run earlier.
Adell not really known for his defense, but Josh Lowe is super athletic out there for a corner infielder. It's a nice catch. And, you know, as an outfielder, when you dive and it's down the line like that versus in the gap with your center fielder backing you up, you better be darn sure you're going to come up with that.
It's one of the changes for the Angels this year, as JP fouls this back. Normally for years we've seen Taylor Ward out there and left. He was traded to Baltimore this offseason in exchange for Grayson Rodriguez, and Lowe comes over, previously with Tampa Bay. So an upgrade defensively out there for the Angels. Oh, this is a rocket out to Adell in right field. It short hops and goes over that short wall for J.P. Crawford's first hit of the year. A ground rule double.
It's just so nice to have his bat back in the lineup if you're Dan Wills. I mean, yes, you know, he plays a solid shortstop out there for you. He makes all the plays that he's supposed to make, but at the plate, and then his leadership, you know, I mean, you've got young guys around him, Cole Young. And he always talks about how Kyle Seager took him under his wing when he first came over here, and in his words says, made me fall in love with baseball again.
Well, he really took Cole Young and Ben Williamson under his wing last year. Ben now in Tampa Bay. Young sends this high and foul. 7-game hitting streak for Cole Young. That's matched to career best. 0 for 1 tonight.
It was just incredible. You look at opening day, and he was 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, and then just since he's gone on an incredible tear. Coming into today's game, 4 extra base hits, 9 for 26, flirting with hitting 400.
Another changeup from Kohanowitz. It was Young's triple in the 10th inning to give the Mariners the lead last night. Another ball popped up foul. Ohapia look, but this is into the crowd. It does seem like the fastball velocity is starting to come down a little bit for Kohanowitz. We're seeing more 94s and 95s all of a sudden. He touched 99 early on in this game. We'll see if that's just a hiccup or if that's kind of his new cruising speed here. Off speed, and he rung him up on a changeup. That's the 6th strikeout for Kohanowitz, and he gets Young for the 2nd time. Two down. Mariners trying not to waste the Crawford double. Here was Rivas, who walked his first time up. Trying to bunt, and he gets his legs taken out. 97. He popped a good heater in there.
I never understand when lefties square around to bunt. I mean, meaning just base hit bunt. Just do it a little bit more deliberate, a little bit slower.
And he takes a strike that time. And why is that?
Just because you do that more often. I mean, it's not very often as a left-handed hitter you square around to bunt. I mean, you oftentimes as a lefty will try to base hit bunt. So go through your base hit bunt routine. Just if you are sacrificing yourself, be a little bit more deliberate, slow things down, make sure you get it down. Plus, like you saw right there, you just open yourself up and make yourself a little bit more at risk.
Shonowell takes him to the bat. The double by Crawford stranded. Kohanowitz has spun 4 scoreless.
Welcome back to Anaheim. Brad Adam with you. Leo Rivas pressed into duty last night at third base when Brandon Donovan went out with that groin injury. Rivas talked to him today. He said he was in the cages getting loose, as he often does at the end of games, in case he needs to pinch run or pinch hit. And the coach ran and grabbed him and said, "Hey, you're in at third." It's like, "What happened?" "Donovan's out, you're in." He's like, "Okay." Been a while since he's played third. He said he played it a couple times in the spring. Can't remember if he played it or not last year. He says everything gets on you much quicker. It's either really hard over there or really soft. We've seen him make a couple of nice plays, and Rio is certainly putting in work at third, and hopefully it's just for a start or two as Donovan is on the mend.
Yeah, a chance we see Donovan back in the lineup tomorrow, and thank goodness J.P. Crawford is back. Otherwise, what would the Mariners have done at that point? Rivas has been playing shortstop until last night when J.P. came off the injured list.
I think we've established it was going to be Mitch Garver, right?
Here is Rosarena. Straightaway left field. Shonowell is out.
There they are right there, probably talking shop.
Talking all about third base. Let me tell you everything I know, Mitch. Here comes Jorge Soler. Wave and a miss. Here comes a 2-2. It's funny, we talked about all the four-seam fastballs Hancock threw in his last start, roughly 50%. It was the second highest usage of that pitch in his young career, and yet the velocity that night was about 3 miles an hour slower on average than what we're seeing tonight. Gets Soler off balance, and he loops that foul.
Emerson has faced the Angels twice in 2025, once as a starter, once as a reliever, and it's the guy at the plate, Soler, who ambushed a first pitch fastball against him in the 5th inning. But other than that, he had tremendous success against these Angels.
Swing and a miss. 97 mile an hour rocket fuel that time from Hancock. He's got his plus fastball tonight in Anaheim.
Well, it just seems so much faster after he flips that sweeper in there the pitch before, but to dial up 97 with his two-seamer at the bottom of the zone. Great pitch.
Ball one low to the switch hitter Moncada.
That's the thing about Emerson, because he's never been a huge velo guy, he's always been a control guy. So he's been able to hit, you know, bottom of the zone, inside out, top of the zone, up and out. And if he can now just add that velocity and then maintain that velocity, I mean, we know he knows how to pitch. We know he knows how to locate. Now if he can just make those swing decisions happen a little bit quicker, everything is going to be more effective.
Now Moncada leans into this. Raley at the wall, and Raley has enough room. Nameplate pressed against the fence. Moncada allowed out number 3. Mariners TV is your new home for Mariners baseball. You can stream regular season games in market with no local blackouts for just $99.99 for the whole season or $19.99 monthly. You can start streaming to mariners.tv. Top of the order, third time up for Luke Raley. Raley had a firm fly out to center field his last time up. On the ground and smothered. Peraza from his knees in time. We'll see if the Mariners want to look at this or not. Close play. Raley seems to be convinced he's out. That might be all you need to know. Let's take a look as Dan waits to hear from the video room. There'll be no challenge.
I was happy to see Luke Raley run through this, and it's always entertaining to watch Luke Raley when he really gets going with the arms, but not really stretch out like we saw Brendan Ryan do last night. Donovan, excuse me.
But man, Brendan Ryan was a great guy, wasn't he?
I've called him that a couple of times now. I'm going to apologize to him.
I mean, if you made a short list of all-time Mariners you'd most want to just go get a sandwich with, Brendan Ryan's on that list. All-time dude.
High on that list for sure.
Here is Cal. Yeah, you know, you speak of Raley and his animated running style. When we first talked to Luke, when he was first acquired by the Mariners, one of our first conversations, he said, "I look bad doing things." And it might not always be.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, it might not be the most conventional form, but it sure has worked out for him so far.
No, I call him Phoebe from Friends. You know, running just like you're, 4, 5, 6 years old. Never change, Luke. Never change.
Cal calls for time. He's flown out twice to Adele in right field, and back in the first inning, it was Adele who took away Cal's first home run of the year.
Not surprising, his hardest hit baseball of the year, too.
Inside the Mariners dugout, take cover. Well, we take you back to the first inning on a rocket from Cal Raleigh. And Adele up over the yellow line. He timed his leap perfectly. A sensational catch. Well, this is a screamer. Foul. Full count, longer at bats from Cal. We're seeing a lot of pitches over the first couple of games here. Julio waiting on deck. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Going after a very high fastball, swinging up amongst the branches, and Cal strikes out. 2 down.
I mean, it's kind of a good thing, I think, if you're Cal Raleigh, to see a few more pitches. And I really like right now what Julio is doing. When you're trying to get things going, let the ball travel a little bit more. Let it get deeper. Try to see the pitch longer. So much of Cal's game is catching that ball out in front. If very few pull the ball as often as Cal does.
Julio fouls away the first pitch. 7 strikeouts for Kohanowitz tonight. Not a guy known for getting a lot of strikeouts. He's one shy of matching a career best. That came last year against the Yankees. Julio lays off. Well, whatever that dip in velocity was for a few fastballs an inning or two ago, it seems to have been nothing more than a blip. He's still rushing it up there. On the ground over to Neto, who's had a quiet night defensively, and Kohanowitz is pitching very well tonight. 7 strikeouts over 5 scoreless against the Mariners.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners.
Hancock facing Joe Adell to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. Adell looks at strike 1. Well, last time out, everything was up in the zone from Hancock, but his out pitches through 4 innings. He's been living near the bottom of the zone tonight.
He has, and this is a very right-handed dominant Angels lineup. You look at the sinkers. He's gotten 7 outs with that sinker, the cutter and the sweeper as well. Getting in on the action tonight, living at the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, so an interesting contrast between his first 2 starts. Ahead of Adell, 0-2. Well, Adell, one of the many hitters in this lineup that you worry about leaving the yard. This finds Cole Young near the bag at second. Down to the Ford Sports desk, Brad.
Well, last half inning when Moncada took Emerson to the wall to end that inning, Emerson walks off poker face till he sees the ref and says, the ump says, man, I thought that ball was gone. I did. I thought it was gone off the bat. Ump shared a good laugh as well. But we all kind of thought that sounded like it was gone, but not traveling that well here tonight. And guys, you know, when you're pitching an ounce and out, right? It doesn't matter if it's a strikeout or a 360-foot flyout.
Well, I will say, we mentioned this last night, this is not the easiest place to hit a home run once the sun goes down. But that being said, that ball sounded like it would clear the fence by 20 feet. Now the starters in this series have been absolutely lights out. Of course, last night's game, I should say, was a scoreless tie after 9 as Cal goes out for a talk, but just one earned run. That was the Neto homer to begin the first inning for the Angels tonight. Last night it was Brian Wu going 7 scoreless and just 1 hit. Reed Detmers pitched very well, 6 2/3 scoreless on the Angels side of things.
I had a feeling it would sort of go that way for Brian Wu against these Angels. So they are the only team in the majors hitting below 200 against fastballs, and Wu has 2 of the best that they are going to see. But Reed Detmers has made it really tough on the Mariners last night, and Emerson Hancock's been solid again this evening.
Low ahead of the count. Yeah, the Angels are a team that you look at the numbers that they have posted last year and this year too against the fastball, and the average and the strikeouts are both very bad, and yet they hit so many home runs that you have to be mindful of, especially if you walk somebody and if you catch too much of the play with a heater. You look at the numbers last season, the average and the whiff rate were essentially rock bottom, but they had the 5th most home runs this season to go on fastballs. And that continues to be a strength of theirs this year.
Yeah, and one thing they're not doing a whole lot of this year, you know, because I'm sure it's been a point of emphasis, Aaron, is that they're not chasing. Their chase rate is under 19%, 2nd lowest in baseball. It's early, small sample size, but
well, they hope that that's a trend that will continue. There's no question. 2-2 still to Josh Lowe. And they've got some sluggers. There's no doubt about that. Low in the air routinely to Arozarena and left. Two up and 2 down. Now, if you go back to last year, from last year until now even, these are 2 of the teams that have relied on the long ball more than almost any other in baseball. The Mariners have lived and died by the home run at times last season also. Here is O'Hoppe. And he shoots this into left field for a base hit. That snaps 12 in a row, retired by Emerson Hancock, who really settled into a nice groove after that first inning. Now, since the start of last year, only the Yankees, and by just a percentage point, have scored more runs via the home run than the Mariners, and the Mariners not too far in front of the Angels. Sounds like he got in on his hands a little bit. Peraza pops it up. J.P. Crawford with 2 hands. And tell you what, Emerson Hancock gave up some loud contact in the first. It's been smooth sailing since then. Mariners TV is presented by UW Medicine, the only health system in Washington that directly connects care to a research and learning powerhouse. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care. And by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 49 years. Always a good group of Mariner fans in the house when the Mariners come here to Angel Stadium. Enjoying some warm weather and some general good vibes, I would say. Josh Naylor leads things off. '81 pitches for Kohanowitz. Naylor, a drive to right field and on the track. There is Adele. That's a dead zone out there. One away. Naylor a hard first out. Join the Mariners on May 2nd for Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile. Don't miss an historic pregame celebration where the big unit's 51 becomes immortalized at T-Mobile Park. Mariners.com/big unit. Here's Randy. Now, what kind of hook will Kurt Suzuki have on his starter, Jack Kohanowitz? Joey Lucchesi, one of 3 lefties getting loose inside of the Angels bullpen.
I think they only have 3 lefties, like every single one of you guys. Just grab a ball and start going.
Just get after it. I mean, if you're Suzuki right now, you are enthralled with what you're seeing from Kohanowitz, who was really roughed around over just 4 innings in his season debut.
Yeah, quick story about him. Back in 2016, when Kohanowitz was just a skinny freshman in high school back in Pennsylvania, how about advocating for himself? He reaches out and emails the Houston Banditos coach and says, like, hey, I'm 175 pounds. I throw 86 plus miles per hour. You should take me. And he does. And he does, sight unseen. Doesn't tell his parents he's doing this. So like his parents come back from dinner and he's got to explain to them, hey, by the way, I'm going to need a ticket to head south. And, you know, give him credit. First outing, he struck out the side. But how about that? I mean, the Houston Banditos are not a small organization. I mean, this was like, hey, I'm good. Take me. And they did.
Well, he had some belief in himself, and it's carried him to the big leagues. And tonight, near career best performance, 7 strikeouts, 1 shy of a career high. And Suzuki will have a little bit of a quick hook with 2 outs and nobody on here. They're calling on the lefty Lucchesi. Canzone is scheduled to hit. See if Dan goes to his bench. We've got a pitching change. 1-0 Angels. Jack Kohanowitz, Angie, has really struggled historically against the Mariners, but tonight he was terrific.
No, he made his major league debut against the Mariners. They touched him up for 5 runs in that game tonight. They couldn't plate one against him. He was absolutely fantastic. Kept him off balance all night long. 7 strikeouts, a couple of walks, 4 hits. But again, much different than the last time the Mariners saw him, and much different from his first time out.
And we've not seen Dom Canzone left on left much at all this year. And he sends this out to center field. Trout's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch. Lucchesi, 1 pitch to record out number 3. Tonight's ballpark smile moments are brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, where every great play brings out another great smile. Another close one here tonight from Angels Stadium. Angels have the only run. That was a Neto homer to begin the Angels first. It's his 3rd time up here facing Hancock. Just past Rivas. Neto, a multi-hit night, and he takes a wide turn and retreats.
I believe Leo Rivas is working with 11 1/4 glove over there at third base, and what he needed right here was his 11 3/4 glove. Just over the reach of Leo. He says he doesn't have it because usually he says when he plays third base he has 11 3/4, but he just doesn't have one right now. So he's on the lookout.
Help a guy out.
Yeah. Where's Perry? Seems to have an arsenal.
He's outfitted half the team. Dangerous hitter and Trout at the plate. Nobody out. Neto at first. That's where you want to pitch him. Just up out of the strike zone. That one and leaking over the plate more. 1-2 on Trout. Historically an elite low ball hitter. Over 400 career home runs, and he calls for time. Last year driving in his 1000th RBI. Top of the zone, he's a mortal man, but you go middle or bottom and he's a Hall of Famer. Fly ball to Julio, and that was dead red. And it's to Raley in right field. Trout is retired. It does go to show you how hard hitting is. That was middle in the tic-tac-toe board. And even a guy who's going to be in Cooperstown one day, it ends up being a harmless fly out to right field. There was Shonowell. Right back to the mound. Hancock slings over to Crawford on to first base for a double play. Emerson Hancock. 1 run, 6 innings tonight here in Anaheim. A lot of close games here as of late. 10 of the last 17 here at the Big A have been decided by 1 run between these two clubs. Mariners unfortunately been on the downside more than they would like. A 1-0 Angels lead beginning the 7th. And O'Hoppe wants to challenge this.
The catcher's challenging the pitch.
Ruled a ball. Does it scrape the edge? Wow.
Call's overturned. Los Angeles has 2 remaining.
Yes, it does. And J.P. Crawford is just laughing. That's all he can do. A couple of pitches up and in to Crawford. Lucchesi back out there after he recorded the final out of the 6th inning.
And again, Kurt Suzuki's got a couple more lefties he can deploy. Although we saw Pomeranz last night, we saw Suter last night, who took the loss and gave up the 3 runs. 2 of them earned. Ghost runner came in against him too.
Hike. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Crawford. Full count to JP, who doubled his last time up. Just his second game of the year tonight, beginning on the injured list. Cole Young waiting on deck. He has seen lefties well this year. And JP draws a walk. Tying run is aboard to begin the 7th. And that brings up Cole Young trying to extend a 7-game hitting streak. Nine hits this year for Cole Young. 5 have come left on left.
You might not have enjoyed those at-bats in spring training against all that left-handed pitching you saw, but it's paying off.
And that was maybe a touch inside. Mariners have just one challenge left. And it's quickly 0-2 on Young.
Yeah, that was a tough sequence. That first one, you're right, Aaron, was off the plate inside, and then you get one on the outer third, called a strike. Up and in and low and away. Now you're 0-2. Go get him.
JP not far off the bag. Adrian Johnson telling us that's the first move over there to keep an eye on JP.
I've been watching too much youth baseball because I nearly just screamed back into my microphone.
Well, he didn't have to go far. And it hit him. Did that not hit his foot?
I thought it hit his back wrist, forearm.
And now looks like Dan wants a challenge. I didn't see the umpire point to first base for Cole Young, and now well, Mariners clearly want to challenge this. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, that's a better look at it. Definitely did not hit his foot. That was.
What are they saying? He swung at it, which is absolutely the worst thing. The worst feeling when you're a hitter, when you swing at it and it hits you.
The ruling on the field is a foul ball. Seattle is challenging that decision.
So they thought that it hit the bat. And Cole Young having his wrist tended to, or his hand.
Yeah, obviously the Mariners have no infielders to spare here. Yeah. The face tells you everything you need to know.
That was all wrist.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The batter was hit by the pitch, and Seattle will retain their challenge.
Now the bullpen is up for the Angels. Lucchesi a walk and a hit batter on a 0-2 pitch. They've got Chase Silseth warming. He pitched a third of an inning last night. Leo Rivas, the switch hitter, is due up. And here comes Kurt Suzuki. Silseth is coming on. We've got a pitching change. Things getting interesting here. Tying run in scoring position. Mariners TV is presented by Jack in the Box. The hot mess is back as a munchie meal for Jack's 75th anniversary. And by Northwest Buick GMC. See your Northwest GMC dealer today.
This is kind of interesting, Aaron, that Kurt Suzuki wants to put Leo Rivas on the left side of the plate. He actually hits 77 points better versus right-handed pitching than left-handed pitching, and that's no small number. You know, small sample size so far, but
I wonder if there's something in the matchup with Silseth that he likes. Nobody out. Big spot here for the Mariners. Top of the order is next. Bunt is dropped and it goes foul. Rivas trying to move two into scoring position and give up an out. Corners start to crash already. Shonowell in by the mound, and he eyes that low.
Shonowell was nearly shaking hands with Leo Rivas.
This is the old Anthony Rizzo move. He's closer than the pitcher. Well, they are challenging this. Angels have been very good on the ABS challenges tonight. This would really flip the count. And it's a strike. So instead of 2-1, it's 1-2. And does that take the bunt off now? It does. Strike three call. On the edge at 97, some paint.
That's just an at-bat that you're going to be grinding your teeth on all night long. 97 paint on the inside corner, and you end up having the count flipped on the ABS system. Put yourself in a hole.
Hoppy's had a good feel for the strike zone tonight, that's for sure. Here's Raley. Well, even with that, the Mariners still very much in business. You've got the top of the order here. Cal on deck, tying run. J.P. Crawford at second base. Mariners are looking for their first hit with a man in scoring position tonight. And somewhat limited opportunities. 0 for 5. Silseth with a splitter that he throws a ton. Almost scrapes him. 97 that time.
And as you saw, Luke Raley is not going to get out of the way. Never has, never will.
The 2-2. Now that splitter takes care of Luke Raley. 2 outs now.
Just a tremendous amount of bite. That pitch from Silseth looks like it's right there at the bottom of the zone. Looks like it's a fastball, and then just bottom drops out of it on the way.
Mound visit from O'Hoppe. I'll talk things over before Cal hits. Dan Wilson's bullpen is up. Emerson Hancock fantastic tonight in the start. 1 run over 6. Brash has been warming. Bizzardo as well. An excellent night for Emerson Hancock, who at one point sat down 12 in a row.
And you just love how, you know, as the Mariners have continued to give him opportunities, he's continued to step up with those opportunities.
Back-to-back quality starts for Hancock to begin his year. Now Cal has had some loud contact tonight. Can he drive in the Mariners' first run here in the 7th? He had a home run robbed to the fence and then flew out to right field his next time up. I think Suzuki liked the idea of that splitter against some lefties. It has looked awfully tough. Crawford at second, Young at first. On a 2-1. Now that fastball up and the splitter down, and the fastball 96-97. What a combo.
Well, especially after he stood you up high and in, you're thinking he's going to go back down to the bottom of the zone, but he doesn't. He doubles up at the top.
Cal was on that fastball, just fouls it back. That's 3 straight fastballs. Where does he go here? 2 on, 2 outs. The 2-2. Splitter misses, full count. Julio would be next. As Cal calls time. Mariners have a challenge left. You figure if there's anything close here that goes against Cal, this would be a time to possibly use it. Best chance the Mariners have had tonight, or at least in a while. Here it comes. On the ground, over to Peraza. And the Mariners strand 2. Silseth. Pretty nasty stuff in relief. And he keeps the Mariners off the board. Time to stretch. Mariners TV is presented by the Washington Lottery. Washington's lottery helps fund the Washington Grant, free money for college training or apprenticeships. Emerson Hancock just 68 pitches. It looked like Dan was prepared if the Mariners had tied or take the lead in the top half of the innings to go to the bullpen, but with such a low pitch count, You know, the Mariners still down 1-0. Hancock back out there. And updated numbers for Emerson. 1 run over 12, averaging a strikeout per inning. Pretty impressive stuff to begin his year.
He has been absolutely outstanding. And you think about that first start and how good he was there. Think about that. Only other Mariner pitcher to record at least 9 strikeouts over 6 or more innings of no-hit baseball like Emerson did in that first start was Felix in his perfect game, and then he follows it up with another fantastic outing tonight. And he's still going.
Has been very efficient. Set down a 13 of 14 at one point. Only run he's given up was the leadoff homer to Neto to begin the Angels first.
We saw his first pitch strike. Sometimes that can be dangerous.
Nothing in 2 quickly on Soler. Swinging down to his knees, and a strikeout for Emerson Hancock.
Again, in a previous start against the Angels, his only other start against the Angels, it was Soler who got him on a fastball. So I'm not surprised to see once he got him to 2 strikes that he threw him the sweeper.
Backdoors that for strike 2 Moncada.
I was wondering if Dan Wilson might go to the bullpen just because Moncada's numbers against lefties are so bad. It's not like he's had a great season overall. Look at his season numbers, but he's 0 for lefties so far this year.
Down and away, a ball and 2 strikes to the switch hitting third baseman. And the count evens.
I should have pointed that out. He's a switch hitter, but from the right side, he is 0 for this season.
Back foot breaking ball misses, and a full count. It's a rare 3-ball count tonight for Hancock. He ties him up. That was nasty. Back-to-back punch-outs from Hancock.
Gets him here on the cutter. And like you said, just tied up in knots trying to get the head out to this one.
Here comes the power of Joe Adell, 0 for 2 tonight. A lot of fastballs tonight from Hancock, both the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer. Now, credit to Hancock, too. You look at how that first inning began. Leadoff home run Neto. And out later, Shonowell, 100-mile-an-hour double. Soler, 106 off the bat with a single. I mean, it was loud in that first inning. He got a strikeout to Moncada to end the first, and from that point on, he has just been in complete control of this game. And he's in the driver's seat here, 0-2 on Adell. The 0-2. Adell won't chase that far outside.
You just wait.
We shall see. On the ground, Crawford, and it looked like it maybe Yates did get a piece of his glove, and it trickles into shallow left. Adele is aboard. Bizzardo has been warming up. 2 outs. And a base runner for the Angels.
And Hancock gets this pitch below the zone, but Adele just goes down and gets it. Eats up J.P. Crawford just a little bit. Adele runs pretty well. I'm not sure he would have been able to get up and throw him out.
Well, that does it for Emerson Hancock tonight. Bizzardo is getting set to come in. Emerson Hancock, fantastic once again for the Mariners. 6 2/3, and he exits with a man at first base. Second start of the season for Emerson Hancock, and he was dynamite once again.
I love this new version of Emerson Hancock. He's lowered his arm angle. He's throwing more four-seamers and sweepers. He's added that cutter. He just struck out Mankato with that pitch, and he's just kind of ditched his slider and just a lot more horizontal break on that sweeper. And he's just been so effective through 2 starts.
He's leaving Brian Wu hanging there, man. Give your guy a little bit of love.
He's locked in.
Still. Bizzardo is on. He inherits Adele at first base. Josh Lowe is the batter. Ball on 2 strikes. Such a low-scoring series tonight. Game 2 of 3. These 2 teams were 0-0 through 9 innings last night. Mariners won it 3-1 in 10.
You were thinking with all this warm weather down here that the Mariners might heat things up with their bats. I mean, their first 4 games, they had 8 home runs. Their last 4 games, 0.
And this is just off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hancock 6 2/3 tonight. There'll be a spectator from here. Adele, the runner at first, his property, as this ball is rolled over and into right field. It's past Young. Adele the turn, and the Angels have him on the corners. This ball is flagged down by Rivas up the line from Raley.
Bizzardo had been so good here in this at-bat to Lowe, keeping the ball down with his sweeper and with that sinker. But this one he leaves up, even though it's on the outside corner of the plate, and he's able to pull it through the right side.
Now for the Angels, that's a big run out there at third base in Adele. Right on right as Ohapi climbs in, the number 8 hitting catcher. And Cal Raleigh wants to head out for a visit. Whole infield will join in on this one. Cal looks like he's got a pretty clear message to deliver. Naylor chiming in. Is this a meaning of more of just how we're going to attack Ohapi? Is there more than just that, do you think?
Well, I think the focus here is just trying to keep this a one-run game. You know, the Mariners are running out of outs right now. They've just got 6 to play with, and Ohapi, you know, he's a catcher. His hamstrings are shrunk. He's a double play candidate.
There's a strike. Ohapi 1 for 2 tonight. You got Adele at third base and Lowe, who runs well at first. High lift straightaway left field. Arozarena doesn't have to move a whole lot. And Edward Bizzardo gets out of the jam. He leaves him on the corners, and this remains a 1-0 game after 7. I'll be there on Friday, April 10th for Ichiro Replica Statue Night presented by BDA. The first 40,000 fans will receive a replica of the iconic statue that will stand forever outside T-Mobile Park. Plus 20 lucky fans will score a replica signed by Ichiro himself. Mariners.com/tickets. New reliever on the mound for the Angels. It is righty Sam Bachman. He'll have Julio, Naylor, and Arozarena. The B for the Mariners order coming up. Power stuff from Bachman. Upper 90s heater. Just showed you his numbers from last year. You wouldn't guess it by the end results. An ERA north of 6 this season ago. Just a 1-0 game as Julio leads it off. Not close. 99, but an easy take. Almost triple digits again. He's the hardest thrower in this Angels bullpen.
Talked yesterday about how over the last 3 years, I mean, the fastball's rate that Julio's seeing is going up every single year. It's purposeful.
Peraza has taken over at third. He moved there from second base as former Mariner Adam Frazier is now at second. He handles that, and Julio is retired. Is that just until Julio can prove that they should do something else?
Yes, but I liked the swing he took on 2-0. I mean, he was on time. He fouled it back. It was a good approach on his 2-0 swing. Yeah. But yeah, until he can show that he can turn the ball around, the fastball around, he's going to continue to see more of them.
You look at his numbers the last 2 years, and he's hit the fastball well, but that has not been the case to begin this season.
We say it every year. You know, oh, slow starter, then we look up and he's 30-30, so.
Naylor, deep drive, right field, and he does it again! Wow! Joe Adele has robbed 2 home runs in almost the same spot tonight. First Cal Raleigh, and now Josh Naylor. Oh man, we feel for you.
Fantastic swing put on this ball. I mean, I venture to guess that both that home run and Cal's home runs, probably 20 out of 30 ballparks they leave. And Joe Adele, not a guy that is known for his defense. They have kind of settled him over and right. He has been serviceable. But tonight, he's been fantastic out there.
This ball will find right field. Frazier in a barrel roll. Can't put a glove on it. Now Rosarena is aboard. Tying run is at first. Well, if the Angels win this game, Joe Adele is one of the main reasons why. Naylor, the latest victim. Pomeranz getting set to work for the second straight night. We've got a pitching change here with 2 outs and a man aboard. So how many times have the Mariners lost a 1-0 game on a leadoff home run? One time. This is the 50th year of the franchise. You got to go back to the summer of 2014 at Camden Yards. Nick Markakis had a great big league career. He homered to begin the ball game for the O's. Now the Mariners lost 1-0. It's only happened 6 times in all of baseball since that day in 2014. O'Neal Cruz authored the last one. He of the Pirates. Veteran lefty Drew Pomerantz. We saw him work an inning last night. Back-to-back days for the Southpaw. And Rob Refsnyder batting for Canzone.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to see Refsnyder hit for Canzone in the 6th inning, but there were 2 outs, nobody on. This is a little bit different situation.
He pulls this sharply, but foul. Now Rosarena a single. That comes with 2 outs. He's at first. Tying run is aboard. Go ahead is at the plate.
And the guys in the truck filling us in that Josh Naylor's shot to right field would have left and been a home run in 10 ballparks, and Cal Raleigh's was 20.
Well, it would have been a home run here.
Yeah.
On the ground, cued softly to retire the side. 1-0 Halos. Joe Adell responsible for taking 2 runs off the board. Well, don't miss Humpy's Shoulder Plush Night presented by Microsoft. April 11th, Mariners taking on the Astros. First 20,000 fans will take it home. Mariners.com/tickets. 9-1-2 for the Angels. Bizzardo back out there. Peraza looks at ball 1. Bizzardo ahead. Activity inside the Angels bullpen. Jordan Romano, first-year Halo, their closer. He is up, getting ready for the 9th. Meanwhile, for the Mariners and Bizzardo in particular, trying to keep this one a 1-0 game. He's got the top of the order to deal with after Peraza. So now looks at a full count. So Neto and Trout guaranteed to bat this inning. Popped him up. Cal Raleigh off with the mask. He's got room, and he makes the catch. That's a big first out. Well, little did we know when it was still daylight out that when Neto went over the fence in left field to begin the Angels' first inning, that it would be a 1-0 game in the 8th. He has been the only offense tonight. Although if not for Joe Adell, we wouldn't be saying that. Plate umpire is telling Bizzardo that he has to wait to come set until Adell looks out, or pardon me, not Adell, until Neto looks out to the mound. Off the plate, 2 balls and a strike. For Neto, it was his 3rd home run already this year. Count evens. The 2-2. He got him swinging. 2 outs. Trout due up next, then Shonowell. Ferrer, one of 2 lefties in the Mariners bullpen, is warming up. Looks like he's about ready to go if needed. Dan Wilson's hoping Bizzardo can take care of Trout and send this game to the 9th inning. Well located. That is some paint up and away.
Shocking they went upstairs against Mike Trout.
Perfect execution.
Again.
On an 0-2. Bizzardo with a clean 8th and big strikeouts to Neto and Trout. It is on to the 9th inning. Mariners down a run, down to their final 3 outs. And it's come down to this for the Mariners tonight. They trail 1-0. And the once two-time All-Star closer with the Blue Jays, Jordan Romano, in his first year with the Angels, has the 9th inning. The Mariners will send the bottom third of the order to the plate. And it starts with J.P. Crawford. Last year in Philadelphia, Romano struggled, coming off of injury, looking for a fresh start with the Angels. And so far, so good in his first handful of appearances.
Yeah, has not allowed a run yet.
And the dirt ball 1. Mariners need just a run. And they're challenging this. It was close.
Catcher is challenging the pitch.
Well, I like JP's mindset here. You're 2-0. You're shrinking and hunting. You're shrinking your zone. You're looking for a specific pitch.
Wow.
Probably not a slider that you're just going to beat into the ground low and in if you try to swing at this pitch right there. This is a pitcher's pitch.
Hoppy has been incredible tonight behind the plate with the challenges. J.P. Crawford into the corner. And Adele, there's no way. There's no way. Joe Adele is having the night of his life. He went into the crowd and just robbed his 3rd home run. You will never see this happen again. This is once in 100 years kind of stuff from Joe Adele.
Seattle is challenging the decision of a catch.
I mean,
absolutely incredible. Times it perfectly.
It's clearly in his glove.
I don't know how you could overturn that unless you have a camera on the other side of the fence.
There's no Kwame Supermo. Now, you know, they say you never know what you're going to see when you come to the ballpark, and nobody thought we'd see one guy take back 3 home runs, and the last one was the best one. It's Joe Adele 3 and the Mariners nothing tonight.
Absolutely incredible. And I have said several times, he is not a guy that is known for his defense. Last year, he was a -12 outs above average. He's -21 in his career.
The call on the field is confirmed. There's a catch.
And here he is single-handedly robbing 3 home runs in the same game. Knock it off.
And the other was the most recent, and Cal Raleigh before that. That is utter insanity.
Especially in a 1-run game. I mean, a 1-run game in the 9th. And you keep it that way.
You will never see something like that again. Young homered off of Romano last year in Philly. If he tries to do something similar, we would suggest not hitting it to right field.
It's fair. You know, for Josh Naylor's and for Cal Raleigh's, I put a 9, and then I draw the warning track. I mean, what do I do with that one? I mean, draw the 9 outside the warning track little picture that I make. Wow.
3-0 to Young.
That is how I scored it, by the way. I drew the 9 outside the warning track.
Young taking the whole way. Full count. Mariners down to their final 2 outs. Rivas on deck. Jammed him, popped it up. Frazier at second. Mariners down to their final out.
I'm still shaking my head. I mean, as an outfielder, you live to make one of those catches in a game. I mean, you might only have a couple of those a season. 3 in 1 game.
First it was Cal, then it was Naylor, and now Crawford. Here is Rivas, last hope tonight. Top of the order next if Rivas can reach. Buckler 2-1. Skipping foul, and the Mariners down to their final strike. Now, little did we know when Cal was robbed at the top of the wall in the first inning that would be a sign of things to come tonight. It has been one of the greatest defensive performances this game has ever seen. This was Joe Adell's night. It was the Angels' night. And the Mariners get shut out 1-0 on a game that otherwise they would have won 3-1. A tip of the cap to the man in right field for the Halos tonight. That was unbelievable.
Absolutely. I talked about last night's game being kind of that kick in the shin to the Angels. This was like kicking dirt in your face. I mean, just 3 balls that should have left the yard, but Joe Adell said, no, not on my watch.
That's pure insanity. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it comes at the Mariners' expense. They get shut out 1-0 tonight. Guessing a few people are going to want to talk to that guy not long from now. This series is tied 1 game each. Luis Castillo on the mound tomorrow. Day baseball. Mariners postgame. We'll talk about all that and more coming up. Starts in 2 minutes.